into this live. In today's live, I'm going to use these two pieces of board. Take a look at them. What you're looking at is actually history. These boards were taken off a building that was built in 1840 to 1843. I actually salvaged these so I can call them reclaimed board. They were destined to go to the landfill. But I decided that I want to make something out of it, and I want to use them to make one key holder and a letter and a key holder. So these are like the hooks that are mostly used on the key holder. Most of them that I look for, they only come in this color, in gold, but I want them to be of a different color. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take 12 of these and stick it in this. Stick it in this. 12 of these and stick it into this piece of foam. I'm only going to change the colors. 12 of these. That's what, 5? Help me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2 more. I need 2 more. Let me do an extra one. So I'm going to put an extra one. So after I put these in, the main reason why I'm showing you these first is because I'm trying to change the color. So I'm going to spray them with this paint by Burr Black Satin. So that's, and thanks for joining the live. So let me use this phone to find the channel so that I can actually see what is going on in the comment section when you guys choose to join the live. So as I said before, I'm going to use these two pieces of board to make a cutting board. No, not a cutting board. I'm going to use it to make a as I said, I'm using it to make 2 letters, a letter holder and a key letter holder. So let me spray these into the color black and put them aside so that they can dry. Just want it to have a different look. Yes. So I'm going to put this aside to let it dry now. The next thing I'm going to do is it's because I'm outside, I forgot to put on my PPE. So if you're going to do anything like this, please remember to use your PPE and then put this aside, let it dry out of harm's way. So the next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to rip these boards with a jig that I have made on my Skills job site saw. Let me show you my jig. This is a jig that I made to use when I was working with a lot of pallet boards. I haven't really done much work with pallets since lately, but I still keep the jig because I believe it will turn out to be useful, as you are going to see right now, that this is indeed a good idea. Keep this jig. So let me bring this across. Just checking to see who was joined the live. Well, let me bring over this a little bit more. Yes. So first I'm going to take one of these pieces of board and I'm going to put it on to my jig to get a straight edge. Yes, to get a straight edge. Clamp it down. After you clamp it down, then you bring this across. Bring it across. Just want to get a straight edge. Turn this off here. Yeah. I think that's supposed to be good enough. And then I'm going to bring up the blade of the saw to make this cut. The blade of the saw. As I said, this is a straight in jig that I use. I get that straight edge now, then I can actually move to the other piece of board to get my straight edge cut. I said this whole board is a whole piece of board, so I'm just using it to make the two. So this is the next piece of board that I'm going to rip down to get a straight edge, my straightening jig. We'll bring over this a little bit again. After I get to rip these two straight edges. Yeah, that pretty much seems to be it. Bring up my table saw blade a little bit more. Okay, so I want you to follow me closely now. The next thing I want to do is to bring these two pieces of board over to my thickness planer, and then I'm going to come back to my table saw. So I want you to take a look at it. This is how they are looking. So please take a close look. Thanks for joining me in the chat. Nice to have you with me today. So I'm going to pass these boards through the thickness planer. I'm going to give it like a slight skim on each side, like a light pass. Not want to keep some of the character of the wood. So let me get out my thickness planer. I don't know if you were with me on the last live when I told you that taking out this planer is like a workout because it weighs like 92 pounds. But I have to say that I am glad that I purchased it. This is a well-built thickness planer. It seems like one that can be passed down to my grandchildren if I should have any. But let me show you it. We're going to be back and forth on the bill. I don't know if you're seeing the thickness planer, but let me move over with the camera so that you guys can see what I'm about to do. So now I'm going to use the thickness planer to pass these two pieces of board through it, and I'm going to let me try to line this up. Yeah. Bring it down. So give it a light pass. Oh man, I forgot that I didn't move the electricity. It just get at work without being plugged in. Otherwise, from battery, maybe they haven't made that one yet. So, I'm going to pass this through. is it. Hope you are seeing how these two pieces of board look. So next I'm going to go back over to my table saw, where I'm going to rip these board down to the dimension that I need. Follow me to see what I'm working on. This is one of those fun projects for me. Let me take this here. So the first thing I'm going to do now is going to rip these boards down to size. So I'm going to give you the measurement for this one. For this one, I have a pattern that I make it in. I actually want to keep this void right here. I think I want to use it in front. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut this off. Let me get my tape measure. So the first thing first, I need to see if I have the actual measurement that I need, which is 6.5. I think on this one I want to keep this part of the board to serve as part of the design. So yeah, so I'm going to keep that part. I'm going to make this 16 inches. I think I might have to use my miter saw to make some cuts first for this one. Let me get my little speed square, if I have it here. Yes, I do. So I'm going to miter square this off right there. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to use my miter saw to cut this. Please bear with me. This process seems to be taking a little time, but I'm sure you will enjoy the finished product when you see it. These are just projects that can be done. As I said, this is done. I'm using scrapboard to do this one. So I think after I might set up this miter saw over this area on my next table. I think I probably need to find a better way how to organize my shop, my outside shop. But for now, I'm just asking that you guys bear with me, as every vision starts with a dream. Okay, so I'm going over back to This mitre saw right here. So let me take this board over. Take back this over here to show you guys what I'm doing. This is really a back and forth process, but pretty much a quick build. Thanks guys for joining in the chat. So I'm going to rip this down to 16 inches. So I'm going to cut this. Well, let me square off this end first. I'm going to actually square off this end. And I'm going to go for 16 inches, which is right here. 16 inches there. These board that I'm working it right now, they are over 100 years old. I think about 140 years old they're about. So that's right there. Then I'm keeping these voids in the board as part of the process. And I'm going for another 16. Let me square this off. Another 16 inches right there. Yep. So we have that. Let's see the next process. Then I'm going to get the next piece of board. This piece is basically a little bit more straightforward. So I'm going to cut this piece down into 17 inches. Yes, 17 inches. I want this piece to be 17 inches. Yes. I said I'm going to be going a little bit back and forth for this one. So this is 17 inches. Yes. Inches. And I'm going to go back to the table saw now and show you. So this is basically going into the finishing line with these products, with this build. So let me take you back over to the table saw. Going back to the table saw. At the table saw, I'm going to rip these boards down to the dimension that I'm going to work them with. So I want you to follow me. So for the first piece, I'm going to rip this down one piece, 3.5 inches. So I'm going to rip this down 3.5 inches. Oh, I forgot to, oh man, I forgot to move the plug again. That's what I'm saying. It seems as if I'm getting old. Okay, so rip this down 3.5 inches. Yes? Yeah, okay, I'm coming. Mommy's coming. And I'm going to cut this piece. Oh, guess what? I've learned since lately that I should use a push stick whenever I'm going to make cut like those. So let me get my little push stick. Because after all, I think I'm going to still need my 10 digits. So let me get one of my push sticks to make this cut. Yeah. Get my push stick. Hope you're following me on this bill. See exactly how I'm doing it. So the next thing is I'm going to cut this down 2 inches. This one now, I'm coming. I'm going to cut this down 4 inches, 3 3/4. Let me cut 2 pieces, 3 3/4 of this one. So I want these defects to be in the board. So I'm going to soon show you what I'm going to do with these now. So I am going to go back to the miter saw. And at the miter saw, let me see. So I want this defect to be on the board. So what I'm going to do now, let me put these 2 pieces aside. I'm going to actually measure now. Measure from the center here, 5 inches. Which is 10 inches. Let me mark this. And mark this. Yay! Come in! You poo? Go. I'm coming. Ah. Hey guys, yes. So with this now, just give me. Hey guys, I'm going to ask your favor on the live. You may not see me for a little bit because I'm about to do daddy's duty. So just give me a quick 2 minutes and I'll get back to the live. Michael, come. Yes, guys, I am back again, but guess what? I think I'm going to end this live and start it with the back. Because this finishing process.